Hi, this is Ramu, Associate Professor, Department of CSC, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. In last class, we have seen branch conditional statements. In this class, we are going to discuss about loop control statements. See, if you want to do the same task repeatedly, then you can opt loops. The loops will reduce the task, time, right? If you follow the particular conditions, you are going to repeat the same kind of task repeatedly. See, here, this is the entry and condition with the loop until condition goes to fail. So it is going to repeat, right? So here we have three kinds of loops are available. First one is the for loop. For is a combination of initialization, condition and increment and decrement. Observe clearly. So this is the syntax of for loop. See, this is the first part, initialization and colon and condition and updation. The program starts, for loop starts with the first initialization and comes to condition. If the condition is true, it comes to the statements. After that, it goes to the updation, right? Again, checks the condition. If the condition is true, again it comes to the true statement. If the condition false, it goes to here. Observe clearly here, the condition is true. Keep on printing the statements, right? For example, if you want to print your name 100 times, then you should write the printf 100 times, right? Printf of 100 times. Instead of that, you can write a one condition. What is that? You're going to take a one counter, you're going to repeat the same kind of task. Then it is going to use a for loop. You can initialize the I value is 1 and you need to reach that value is I is less than or equal to 100. Then it is going to print 100 times the same kind of statement if you put into the for loop. Yeah, I will show you in the program. See, here you want to print your name 100 times. See, printf IARE, printf IARE. See, if you print this name 100 times means you can write like this, right? Instead of writing this one, see, if you use a for loop, see, for and what is the starting variable? Initialization, right? So, some b equal to 1. B is a value I have already taken, right? B. Next, b is less than or equal to a value. So, a means how many times you are going to print a IRE. How many times you are going to print IARE, that is represented with a. And each time you are going to use the increment, right? I plus plus, right? We will trace this code. See, if you observe here, initially, for example, initially if a value is 5, then what happened? So a value is 5, we entered 5 value, then b equal to 1, right? B equal to 1. After that, when b equal to 1 means b less than or equal to 5 means 1 less than or equal to 5. Condition true or false? Condition true. When the condition true, it is going to print IARE, right? IARE first time. Right? After that, b equal to 2. 2 means 2 less than or equal to 5. Condition true. In the condition true, it prints IARE second time. Next, b value. So here b plus plus is there, right? So means b value is 3, means it is going to increment 3. And after that, it is going to check the condition. 3 is less than or equal to 5. Condition true. When the condition true, it is going to print the IARE again. IARE. Right? Again, b value is goes to increment by 4. 4 less than or equal to 5. Condition true. When the condition true, again it is going to print a IARE. Again, b equal to 5. 5 less than or equal to 5. Condition true. When the condition true, again it prints IARE. Then b value is goes to 6. 6 less than or equal to 5. Condition false. Here condition true, condition false. When the condition false, you get out of the loop. Means it comes to here. See how many times IARE printed? 5 times. So this is the process. First it executes the here initialization, after that condition checking, after that printing the statement, after that incrementing, and again same. Yes, I'm going to delete. Yeah. So first, this is the first step, and second initialization, and this is the third, and next fourth, right? This is the procedure, means 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Again 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, means these three statements going to repeatedly. When 2 goes to false, 2 step is goes to false, you just get out of the loop. Is this clear? Is this clear? This is the process. This is the process of for loop. In for loop, advantage is in the single statement you are going to observe all the things. What it is? So initialization, condition, and increment and decrement. Everything you observe in the same loop. Is this clear? So this is the use of for loop. Right? The second part of the code, what it is? While loop. While loop. So while loop is somewhat different with the for loop. In the same statement, you are going to include initialization, condition, increment, decrement. But in the while loop, we are going to check only condition. See, this is the syntax. This is the syntax. We are going to print only condition here. So initialization is you need to start before, right? So increment, decrement, you should include the inside only. Right? This is the same procedure until condition true, it is going to repeat. If the condition false, you just got out of the loop. See how I am going to convert our program, previous program using while loop. See, while loop, right? You don't have initialization, right? You don't have increment, decrement. So this is the statement, but you should initialize the value before p equal to 1. You have to initialize here. Please note this. And should increment the value, right? B value you need to increment p plus plus. That's all. Now it serves for the same purpose. See, this is the one change. What I did here, I'm going to initialize the value, and the next thing I'm going to increment the value. These two things I did here. Is this clear? So the remaining condition I wrote as it is. This is the while loop syntax. In the while loop, you don't have a provision to initialization as well as the increment and decrement at the same time. Only for loop allows you that kind of facility. Right? If you run this code, see. Five is the output. IARE 5 times. Is this clear? So 5 times it printed. 5 times was printed. Is this clear? Right? So this is the purpose of while loop. This is the purpose of while loop. And we will see do while. How do while will work? What is the difference between while and do while? See, do while is somewhat different when you comparing with the while loop. Even the first time the condition falls, it is going to execute. That is the advantage of the do while loop. Is this clear? Even the first time. See, initially it is a do. You don't have a condition checking, right? You don't have a condition checking. First it is a do. Means the first time it is going to execute. And after that, it is going to check the condition. Means, please note this. The do while loop executes at least one in their lifetime. At least once in their lifetime. Once in their lifetime. Even condition false. Right? Even condition false. I'll tell you. So, see, for example, here while is there, right? Here while is there. For example, if my value is 0, 0 means, so I didn't get any output, right? I didn't get any output. For example, if I convert this program into my do while, see, do while is there at where? Here, right? But do while contains semicolon. Please note this, that is the difference. And do. See, only change. I put the while at the end of the bracket. See, if you run this code, with 0 as an input, see, it executes at least once, right? So that is the difference between the while loop and do while loop. Do while loop is executes at least once in their lifetime without depending on the condition. But do while, so while loop executes only when the condition is true. It may and may not execute in their lifetime. Is this clear? That is the difference between the while loop and do while loop. So only you should clear with the what it is called syntaxes. Here while loop contains the end of the semicolon, but do while doesn't contain a semicolon. See, if you use a semicolon here, what happened? If you use a semicolon here, what happened? Observe clearly. If it is a semicolon and 5 is the input and the loop goes to infinity. You know, the loop goes to infinity. The reason is here it is going to end this session. End this scope is only here. Means there is no increment and there is no decrement. So condition checking and it executing. Condition checking, it is going to execute. Always value is 1 less than or equal to 5 only, because there is no decrement here. There is no decrement here. That is the reason. Right? So don't use semicolon at end of the while loop. But do while required, see, do while required semicolon. Condition, semicolon is required. Even for loop also doesn't have a semicolon. Even if you use a for loop, the same thing will happen. Is this clear? So don't use semicolon for if, for, switch and while. Don't use for these statements. Right? Is this clear? Okay. In the today class we have seen how the for loop works and while loop works and do while works. Here my task is I'm going to explain how to solve factorial program in the for loop. Now your task is to convert the program using while as well as the do while. That is your task, right? Yes. So my program is finding a factorial of given number. Finding factorial of given number. That is my program, right? You know, factorial, for example, 5 is the input. What is the factorial of 5? So, you know, 120 is the answer, right? But how we'll get a 120? That is the very important. That is the logic here. See, 5 equal to 1, 5 factorial is a 120. So, if you want to find the 120 means 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. This is the process, right? 120 means what you are doing? You are doing multiplication repeatedly. Multiplication repeatedly. Right? Until reaches to the number. So multiplication repeatedly means you need to put a multiplication inside a for loop. Inside a loop, that's all. That is a for loop or while loop, you leave it. Right? See, the first, what are the requirements for this? First, I require the first thing is one variable, that is a n factorial, right? N is a variable. I need to read the data. And next thing, I need a one counter to represent the values from 1 to n. That is a counter. Next, one more thing is a factorial. It's a result, right? Result. Fact result. F is a variable that is storing the result of a factorial. Right? This is my task. See, first, I'm going to start with first n is a variable, right? N is the variable, and next one factorial is a one more variable. So you know the factorial we need to initialize 1 and I. Why sir, why you initialized factorial value is 1? Means you know if the initial value is 0, if you initialize the f value is 0, 0 multiplied with anything is goes to 0 only, right? That is the reason I have initialized f value is 1, right? In tracing you will understood everything clearly. Next thing, printf enter a number, right? And after that scanf of %d comma ampersand n, right? So n value is 3. I have n value. Next my task is I need to find the factorial of given number. So the factorial, you know, we are going to do multiplication repeatedly, right? So multiplication you need to put into the loop, right? So for of, so initialization value is 1. So 1, 2, you need to repeat from until that number. Until that number means you should write that n, and each time you need to increment 1. After this, so initially f value is 1, you have to include that f into I. That's all. Then printf factorial of %d is, %d means factorial of n is f. So yeah. Now we are going to trace this code. Observe clearly here. See, n value is 5 initially, right? So here n value is 5, and you know f value is also 1, right? And it comes to here, initially I value is goes to 1. I value is 1, and next 1 is less than or equal to 5. Condition true, right? Condition true. When the condition true, what you did here, f equal to f into I. F equal to f into means 1 into I. I value is also 1, right? So the value is goes to 1 only, right? Next, I value is goes to increment, right? I value is goes to 2. Next, we are going to check the condition 2 less than or equal to 5. Condition true. When the condition true, again it goes to here, and f into I means 1 into f value 1, right? 1 into 2 means the value is goes to 2. Now f value is 2. Next, I value is goes to 3, right? 3 less than or equal to 5. Condition true. When the condition true, again f into I. F value is already 2. F into I means I value is 3, right? And the value is goes to 6. Right? After that, I value is goes to 4, right? And 4 is less than or equal to 5. Condition true. When the condition true, again f into I value is 4, right? And 24. Right? After that, I value is goes to 5. 5 less than or equal to 5. Condition true. When the condition true, again f into I, then the value is goes to 120. After that, I value is goes to 6. 6 less than or equal to 5. Condition false. When the condition false, you get out of the loop. After that, it prints factorial of %d. This percentage is related to the first value. What is the n? 5 is %d. Next f means the value is 120. See, if you run this code, 5 is the input, output is the factorial of 5 is 120. Is this clear? Now your task is convert this program into while as well as do while. So I explained this program using for loop, right? You just convert the same program into the while as well as a do while. right? If you have any doubts, just comment on the below video. Definitely I will help you in this regard. Okay, thank you very much.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.